Today we're going to talk about molar mass and formula mass. What is molar mass? The definition of molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of a substance. And remember what a mole is equal to. 1 mole is equal to my 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd things. Now remember that 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd is the amount of the things. So now we're going to relate the mole of one thing to its mass. For the elements, the molar mass is equal to the atomic mass in grams. For example, if I have 1 mole of carbon, I have 12.01 grams of carbon. Now, where did I get the 12.01 grams of carbon? I got that by looking at the atomic mass of carbon on the periodic table. So if I had 1 mole of magnesium, I would have 24.31 grams of magnesium. Using grams is a heck of a lot easier to get 1 mole of a substance instead of having to sit there and count to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd to get 1 mole of magnesium. And since these things are equivalent to each other again, we can use them as conversion factors. So if I had 1 mole of potassium, what is the molar mass of potassium? So what I would do is I would look up on the periodic table, find potassium, remember potassium is K, and I would find out that the molar mass of potassium is 39.1 grams of potassium. Take a look at a molecule. If I had 1 mole of H2O, how many grams of H2O would I need? So what I would have to do is I have 2 hydrogens. Each of those hydrogens has a mass of 1.01. 1.01 is the atomic mass of hydrogen. And I then would add my 1 oxygen atom multiplied by the mass of that oxygen, which is 16.0. And then I would add those two together, and I would end up with 18.02 grams of water. So if I wanted to ask you to get 1 mole of water, you would go to the scale and get 18.02 grams of molar mass of calcium phosphate. 3 calciums times the mass of calcium, which is 40.08. And yes, I want you to take the atomic masses out to 2 decimal places. If you use the periodic table that I gave you, it is already out to 2 decimal places, so you really should use 2 decimal places. I have 2 phosphorus atoms, and the mass of phosphorus is 30.97, and then I have 8 oxygen atoms. Now remember, the reason why I have 8 is because I distribute that number, and 2 times 4 is 8, times the mass of oxygen, which is 16. Now we just do our math there to come up with a number of 310.18 grams is what we should end up with on that one. So as you can see, in order to calculate molar mass of a substance, you would just need your periodic table and the formula written correctly.